I'm Scott Allen Miller. It's the 13th of September 2022, and this is my vlog of daily life in Nicaragua, and this is Charlie. Hey Charlie, how you doing, boy? All right. He just came into, hola, ¿cómo están? All right, so his name is not really Charlie. I just named him that because I needed a name for him, and he hangs out with Clive every day. Every time we go for a walk, he comes out and joins us. He lives somewhere along this street, and he always seeks us out. Anytime I come out of the house, he comes running from wherever he is to come say hello, unless he's fast asleep and can't hear me. I have noticed from watching my videos that my gait has gotten pretty rough since having broken my foot, which I suppose is to be expected, but I didn't realize how much I could see it until I'm watching the videos, and I noticed that I'm limping all the time. When I'm actually walking, I notice that the ball of my foot is sore much of the time, and a lot of that's actually from a surgery I had when I was 16, and I had part of my foot removed. So that was something that didn't really affect me that much, but now that I have more soft tissue damage in the foot, that lack of extra cushion, because it's like the muscle in the front of the foot is not as much as it should be, that change, I really notice now that that's where my foot is always sore, and it makes a difference. A la izquierda. And so today's Tuesday, and I don't have a lot of news. This is the holiday week, so I'm working a lot, but everyone's out at the beach doing hotel business because it is very, very busy. But today I had to run around and take care of some errands, partially for the hotel. We have a television event that we want to be able to do at some point in the future. We've been working towards that, and I had to deal with a lot of that yesterday and today. So that was a lot of just dealing with the scheduling and stuff yesterday. We thought we were going to film today, and then we can't. So that's something, but I had to deal with paying for that and paying some vet bills and different things. So today was a day of running around dealing with bills, quite a bit of the day for me. I had to go get cash, and I had to go do a bunch of things. So some people, and this is perfect timing, right? Some people on the channel had asked what you do to pay bills. Like, what is the mechanisms? How do you deal with that? Around here, do you have, banking accounts that do that? Do you have automatic bill pay? What do you do? And so we're going to talk about that today because it is very different than what you are probably expecting. And it's something that you really have to learn, or you're going to be caught dramatically off guard. And it's actually very easy, but you have to remember that this is I just noticed that there's a lot of flare on this lens. I cleaned it, and I think some humidity got in there. So if you're seeing that let's take that off. Here we go. Should be a lot cleaner now. It's going to be adjusting a bit. Maybe they'll dry as I walk. All right. So the way that things work here, you have to remember that just all the mechanisms are different, and people are paying in a different way, and people don't tend to have bank accounts and all kinds of things. So things are different for the norm. So first of all, where do you get money? In most cases, of course, you can open your own bank accounts here. You can do all kinds of things, but for most people, especially those that are not here permanently or not here for a really long time, you're not going to have a bank account. You're not going to do a big money transfer. What you're going to do is have a bank account in the US or Switzerland. A lot of people do that with Charles Schwab, and simply use the ATM. You can get money in any ATM here in both Cordoba, the local currency, or dollars, US dollars, and that's both are widely accepted. Some places expect one or the other, but in general you can use either in most cases. If you do deal with a local bank account, though, when they say they need Cordoba, they need it. When they say dollars, they need it, because the bank account is coded to that currency and they can't switch back and forth. So just be aware that that is a thing, that it's not that people are trying to be a pain. That's how the bank accounts work. And if you really think about how the bank accounts would work, it would be very difficult if it held multiple currencies. They would never know exactly how much you had, because they'd have to convert on the fly, and that doesn't really work. It has to hold it in something, and you don't want to be converting without knowing. So bank accounts are currency based everywhere in the world. It's universal. But here, because everyone works in two currencies, you have to have two bank accounts to have both currencies in a bank. You go to the ATM, you can pick what you're going to take out. So even if you have a US bank account or a Swiss bank account, you can do whatever currency you have back home. Here, simply put in your debit card, whatever, your ATM card, and pull out. Normally you want Cordoba because you're going to get your best deals most of the time in Cordoba. I deal with US dollars essentially never. I've taken them out in a year and a half, exactly one time at the ATM, and that one time it failed anyway, and I didn't get to do it. So I guess technically I've done it zero. So that's the first thing. And where do you find the ATMs? Generally, you're going to find them in the supermarkets. That's La Union, that's La Colonia, Maxi Pali. Those places, they always have them. Some super minis will have them. Some gas stations will have them. And of course, the banks themselves have locations all over the place, and you can just stop in and get cash at just about any of those. So pretty easy to get cash here. Most of those places are open pretty late, and a lot of the bank ones are 24 hours. They just have a security guard. You can go in anytime. That is normal. And a lot of the super minis are also 24 hours. Those that aren't are often open until midnight in normal barrios, and like in El Centro, I think it's 24 hours, or open at least until like 4 a.m. So you have a lot of options as long as you're willing to walk a little bit. So that's how you get cash, and you need cash. That's the thing that's weird. We're used to dealing in most of places, Western Europe and North America, with not working with cash, working with bank accounts everywhere we go. Not so much here. So when you're going to make a payment, you need to go to a bank office and you make a direct deposit into someone's account. That is the normal way that things are done. Not if you're paying your cell phone bill. Those, you will go to any pulperia and they'll have Claro or Tigo signs on it, whoever your phone carrier is. And when you go there, you will simply pay your bill directly to them, again with cash, but it's a little bit different that you actually go to their offices, but they are everywhere, a la derecha. So they're really, really easy. And I've probably passed 4 or 5 places that we could have paid a phone bill just on this walk. They're so common that you stop noticing them because the signs are literally everywhere. I will do my best to point one out if we walk past it. But they're red signs for Claro, blue signs for Tigo, and most places do both. So not hard to find what you're looking for. But when you're needing to pay the actual bills, could be, in my case, a vet bill or a bill to a marketing firm in Managua, or you need to transfer money to a friend, whatever. Oh, hold on, we're gonna turn around, and here we go. This is a pulperia that has, this is Claro down here, and this is Tigo up here, and often you have these signs that catch you as you come down the road, and that is how you pay your phone bills. You just pop into one of those with some cash, and we're gonna try to put the lens cover back on. I think we're looking a lot better now. There we go. Okay. So for other things, what you need to do, let's say you have to pay 1,000 Cordoba in cash. So you carry 1,000 Cordoba in cash, which is not that much money. It's like $30. And you head to one of the bank offices. Now, it doesn't have to be a bank. You can go to a bank, that's fine, but banks have long lines because they're doing other things. If you're just paying a bill, going to a bank is probably pretty annoying. You want to go to the agent of a bank, and the biggest place to find those is in the super minis. The 2 big super minis in this part of the country are Super Express and AM PM, and that's true most places. There's some others like Pronto, but I don't know for sure that Pronto does these kinds of services. Pronto tends to be, but not always, a gas station market, which is still a super mini, but it's tied to gas stations, but not in San Juan del Sur. But Super Express and AM PM tend to be standalone. They are very large, corporate, they've got computers, tons of air conditioning, all that kind of stuff, so they're really comfortable to go to, very professional. They have lots of good stuff, like if you need drinks or ice cream or toiletry items or whatever, that's where people go. People do lots of shopping at those, and they're in most neighborhoods somewhere if you look around. So I'm currently walking, so if you watch my video, you know where I am. This is La Barrio on this side of the street. This is Sutiava over here on this side of the street. I'm on 8th Avenida going northbound, or heading onto the main road east-west through Leon, which is Ruben Dario. It is also listed as Nicaragua 14, Nica 14. And if you go that way towards Sutiava, you are westbound, heading out to Ponaloya and Las Penitas beaches. And if you go that way, you're heading into the cathedral, downtown Leon. So coming up now on Ruben Dario, where it is crazy noisy and crazy busy. And this is a great example. A la izquierda. This is a bank. So this is just one of the, you could come here and get cash. There's an ATM, of course. Ooh, we're gonna cross the street. This is a lot of noise, so bear with me. Okay. Solo necesitas Super Express, ¿sí? Sí. Okay. Super Express. No necesito, gracias. All right, here you can see the Super Express we're coming up on. This is the Super Express in Sutiaba. There's more than one actually in Sutiaba. This is the big one on Ruben Dario. And we're just gonna cross the road here, which is surprisingly easy, even though there's a lot of traffic. It like comes and goes in spurts. So here you can also, you can see, get your Tigo or Claro phones recharged. But here what we do is you just walk up and you can pay your bill at the teller. The way that it works is you go into the Super Express and you go up to the front desk and you simply say you need to make a payment. Now you'll need some information. First of all, you may need your passport or other identifying documents such as your driver's license plus your passport proxy paper, which is sometimes required here, or your cedula if you have one. So those things just have with you. You don't always get required to show them, but they are technically required. You're going to need your cash, of course, that you're paying, and you're going to need some bank account information of who you're paying. You need their bank account number and their name so that they can put all that into the system, and you need to know which bank they are with. So BAC, Lafise, Banpro, and so forth. So you have those three pieces of information for the person you're sending to, and you have your information, and they will ask you not if you are sending money, which to an American is very confusing. What you are doing is making a deposit into their account. So I said I needed to send money, and they're like, we can't do that. I'm like, oh. They're like, would you like to make a deposit? I'm like, into their account? Yes. They're like, okay. I'm like, that is sending money. Okay, so that's how it works. You have to know the lingo. You're gonna make a deposit. This is actually super easy. It seems scary, but it's not. I recommend the easiest thing is take a piece of paper and write all the information down so you can just hand it to them, the amount of money, the bank account number, the person's name, and have like your passport ready or whatever, and their bank name, of course. And then you can just hand it to them and tell them that you want to make that deposit. And they'll give you a receipt when you're done. They'll print out a receipt from the bank, so it's nice and easy. If you do it like me, I had all the information in a chat on my phone, so I just showed them my phone. They're like, okay, and they just wrote everything in from there, made it really easy. You can always just tell them, but that's a pain, and it's much easier to get something wrong. So it's nice to do it all verbally, and the deposits happen essentially instantly. So if you know the person that you're sending money to or the company, you can be talking to them and say, I just made a payment, did it come through? And they will know if it appears. There's probably a way to make a notation as to how you're sending it. That I have not figured out yet, so you do need to coordinate with them, like this painting on the wall. And so that's something I need to figure out yet, how to best do that so that there's a record of what you're paying. But the ability to send money to someone is very easy. I'm very happy with how simple that actually is. So for me, a simple walk up to the Super Express and I can walk in. It's nice and air conditioned, everybody's friendly. You can buy some ice cream to reward yourself for the work, and it works really, really well. So that is how you normally pay bills here in Nicaragua. I'm gonna pass a little bar there. Oh, we have a doggy on the sidewalk. He's too hot to get up. Oh, poor doggy. He's exhausted. He was breathing, he's fine. All right, so that is bill paying here in Nicaragua. That is essentially how all bills are paid. There are exceptions to that, but not very many. Sometimes you'll hand cash to someone. Like if we get water delivery, we just hand them cash. That's fine, so be ready for that from time to time. But when you're paying an account, it's going to be almost universally head to your local Super Express or AMPM and make a payment there, unless it's your phones. Now, phones, that's going to be a new adventure later this week. I have been needing a Nicaragua phone number for quite some time, and we keep pushing it off. Well, it's money. Well, it's a thing. We're not sure what to do. Do I really need it? The answer is yes. If you're going to be here for a length of time, you do need it. So I am getting one sometime this week. I've been trying to find a spot to do it, but just haven't had a chance. And it's nice to have someone who knows what they're doing with you, because while it's easy, it's easier if you're not trying to figure it out on the spot. So my plan is later this week to go figure out how to get a Tigo phone so that I have a Nicaragua number, and more importantly, Nicaragua data service, because the service here is really, really fast if you're on Nicaragua's services, Claro or Tigo, and really, really slow, but it works if you're on T-Mobile, but the coverage is better if you're on either Claro or Tigo. With T-Mobile, we're coming past the Zaragoza Church right there. And if you're on T-Mobile, you get service basically everywhere. It is unlimited, but it is at 256K, not 350 meg. you really notice that difference in the real world usage. And I'm going to be getting what's called a prepay card. For those who are wondering, I'm going to talk about that later when we do an episode on phones. Probably I don't really know. Sometime later in the week, but that's my plan for those who are wondering. And we have a mix of pre and post-paid phones in the family now, so we're pretty used to using it. But it is nice having a Nicaragua number because people can text you, they can call you, and it really is cheap and it's really easy, which we'll explain if you are here as a tourist and only want service for a little while. It works really well for that too. It's really designed around that kind of thing because of the way the market works. So that's pretty perfect. We are coming up on La Colonia here as we walk. So we're gonna head in there, and that is our day. I didn't have a lot going on today overall. It's just kind of a busy day of logistics and stuff. So I'm going to leave you with that. Remember to like and subscribe, put your comments below. Thanks for joining me so much. If you want to sponsor the channel, look in the description. There's Buy Me a Coffee. That works fantastically. Thank you so much to everyone who's been sponsoring the channel. But be sure, just get out there and participate. Let me know about your experiences. A lot of you are coming to visit. Really looking forward to meet more people. And I will see. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Frank, who showed up at the hotel today. He knew I wasn't there, but he went out to the hotel and asked for me and had them take his picture at the hotel and send it. But we will see him on the show later in the week. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you all tomorrow.